Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Asians, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the dark beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault, and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alphino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him and support him in whatever manner you are able. Man is wont to cast a light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which he illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alize, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one. I prithee, Arton, remain by her side as her valiant blade, that she might see her quest to its conclusion. Arton, it is well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartano Flats even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the 2 remaining internment hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I've determined the locations of the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I've been unable to find a way to enter them. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread primal had bound the shade of Nail Vandarnis unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the piteous wretch was not alone. Doubt not but that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, we have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Dalamud. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again in Artan's company? Full oft hath the warrior of light set events in motion by virtue of his presence alone. 'Tis possible that he may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I should question the wisdom of such advice. Yet I cannot deny that what you say about Artan is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now, we seek entry to 2 fragments of Dalamud. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Thanalan, and the other at the Singing Shards in Mordana. I left an assistant at each location with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could since have found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. I say, are you not Master Istrov, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinis, sir, at your service, and may I say what an honor it is to meet you. How goes the survey, Dex? My lady, it shames me to say that I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there before our very eyes, the way thither is thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinis has fared better. Upon that note, my lady, there's something I must tell you. I am sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the Singing Shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. What? Why didn't you give me strength? We must hurry to my assistant's aid, Artan. Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there, I feared that my bones were to be ground up and used to bake bread. I am relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. 'Twas nothing at all, I assure you. If it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is like to take time, and there really is no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it. We are losing precious time. What are we to do now? "'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalamud. Pray, escort Mr. Salize to the ceruleum processing plant in northern Thanalan. There, all shall be made clear." Urianger has found a way? Then we must go to him at once. Mine apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan. Nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lieth to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if that were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places which we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray, allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that two internment hulks may share the self-same ethereal egress. From this did we infer that others may be connected in likewise. Thus did we labor along to verify the existence of further tributaries to the selfsame stream, in which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we may call the headwater, we propose to employ a modified aetherite, which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet be fairly warned, my lady. As with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life. That is a risk I am willing to take. You are brilliant, Urianger. But I'm curious, did you have assistance in forming this plan? I could not help noticing your repeated use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence. Nay, my lady. As you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission. Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. Verily, 'twas not my wish to withhold knowledge of the aid I received. I pray that Mistress Alize will forgive me when she learneth of its source. So that must be the modified aetherite. But what are the immortal flames doing here? Those men may be sworn flames of Ul'dah, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Leveilleux. Alphino! So it was you who was helping Urianger. Who else could it have been, dear sister? Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given that which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Urianger. 'Twas at my behest that he kept silent. We will speak later. And pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Master Alphino be informed. Though your grandsire hath become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courseth yet through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down... Do you hear that, Alphino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the ether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy. Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire. Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve. Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of us. That is why we came here, unless you have forgotten. Gods forbid I should ever forget, Alize, but you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Leveilleur, I would be present for his final moments. Very well. You may join us on one condition. I make the decisions. If it please, milady, the name is Erkenrad. Our preparations are just about complete. When you're ready to embark on your mission, just give me the word. I'll be waiting for you at the ceruleum processing plant. Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We have come far together, you and I, and together we shall see our journey to its end. I've been waiting for you, Master Istrov. I'm pleased to say that the Aetheryte's primed and ready. As you know, the remaining internment hulks are connected to the fragments in eastern Thanalan and Mordana. It is to the former that we'll be sending you first. Now, you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for Milady's sake, if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side. So this is how it looks on the inside. This internment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We are come to the right place. There's no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since we last beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. There were receptacles similar to these in the previous hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Allagons know what other abominations may be sleeping within. They may well be part of Dalamud's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times. By the 12 dragons, and so many. We were aware that the Allagons possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. "'Tis plain that no love was lost between the Allagons and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Dalamud did not want for defenses, this we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Allagons created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alize. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Allagons had perhaps discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words gave me cause to reconsider, specifically the Shade's mention of Bahamut's beloved children. From that I inferred that the primal is given form by the will of worshippers whom we have yet to... Oh. God, strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children, right here before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think I wondered why the Allagons kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Allagan Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the primal's existence. Truly, the Allagan's ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Will you now turn your hatred towards our own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Alphino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste, regardless of the atrocities the Allagons committed against his kind. We have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. this looks like? A model of Dalamud, yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him, unable to move, denied the release of death, how his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail Vendarnis. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed. But knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever of the necessity of our endeavor. Besides, his is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance.